Drew Brees, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? This is DJ Wolf Live. You know, I was read and heard about a statement by Drew Brees talking about his fathers and grandfathers fought and died for his country. Guess what? So did mine. You know, my dad didn't serve any time in the military. But he served as a father. In other words, you know, he gave his time and effort as a father like he's supposed to do, like a man's supposed to do. You know. And Drew Brees basically was trying to undercut what's going on behind the real reason why black folks have started the uprising in the first place. You know, he basically just was a slap in the face to any of his teammates who happened to be African American. You know, he showed no support for him. But this is part of a bigger picture. Well, white people can't see the forest through the trees. That's a big part of the problem. I heard somebody earlier talk about how there are some white people who are ready to rise up with you, and some of us stand down, which is also true. I saw videos yesterday, and I showed somebody, they were doing line dancing in the middle of the protest. Make that make sense. Line dancing in the middle of a fucking protest. Niggas don't take shit seriously, man. Well, it's not not everybody, but those people around here, I was like, really? What the fuck are you doing? In the middle of a protest. Then I was watching excerpts from the George Floyd funeral. Well, of course, you had Al Sharpton, handkerchief head Sharpton. And Benjamin Crump. Crump, to me, is not a legitimate lawyer. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to say that. He's not. I mean, he's a lawyer, but he's not legitimate enough to me like a defense lawyer like a Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran was Flash himself, but Johnny Cochran had some substance behind him. This guy don't have any substance. I've seen him do court cases. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen him involved in any court trial. Not to say he's never been. Of course he has. But I've never seen him be that effective in most of the court cases in any of the court cases I've seen him in. And I don't see him in a lot of them. You know. But he doesn't convince me that he's legit. Somebody who's going to fight for you. He's fighting for that money. Seriously. That's usually what I've seen him do over the years. He helped families settle for money. That's what he does. I think he does that better than anybody. But as far as otherwise, he's just like Al Sharpton. He's just somebody for the money haul. He's never convinced me he's really about fighting for justice. He's never really convinced me of that. You know, he puts himself out there, but as far as him being a lawyer, I wouldn't hire him. I wouldn't. I just would not. I was shocked. I said, why is it and this is no bullshit, why is it in every, not most, but every major case, I'll go there one day, every major case involving police brutality that has happened in the last several years, I'm like, my God. Why does every case involve Benjamin Crump? Why is Benjamin Crump in all of these cases? Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Eric Gardner, what's that girl? I forgot her name. The one that got killed down in Texas. It's just like it's just ridiculous, man. He's in it seems like every time you turn around, he's in all these cases. He's never won any of those cases, by the way. You know, part of that is not his fault. But the fact that he's in all these cases and never win them, it just, to me, he's not that effective. You know. But I know what that's all about, though. It's not all his fault, but some of it is. You know. But just the fact that it's like nobody knows any other lawyers other than Benjamin Crump. That's weird. You know. And Al Sharpton, of course, he's doing all these services and stuff. They're shakedown artists, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, they're not our leaders. They don't lead me. And I don't need them to lead me. You know, to be honest. And that's what it looks like. They're your black leaders. No. They're not. But this whole thing right now, it's becoming more of a joke. They're already saying that George Floyd had COVID-19, had recovered from it. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. And now they're going to use it against him in this case to get the cops off. They're already saying that. They're like, well, he had COVID-19. He was suffering from that. No, he didn't suffer no COVID-19. It was already proven that one of the top forensic specialists on the planet has already proven that it had nothing to do with COVID-19. He was asphyxiated by force. That was in the report. His chest as well. Because those guys put all that pressure on his back and on his neck that caused him to suffer irreparable damage. You know, but they're going to come up with any other excuse to get those guys off. They already do. Matter of fact, I was reading last night, and I don't know for certain it's true, that the other 3 officers got bailed out on $750,000 bond. I'm like, really? I'm like, really and already? That's crazy. How the hell those guys get bailed out when they just got arrested? So that's kind of like what they were doing. George Zimmerman did the same thing. They arrested him, bailed him out, he went home, then he got the chance to come back for the trial. What kind of bullshit is that? You know? I'm just not feeling this, man. It's like it's the same old cycle, rinse, repeat. You know, you uprise after the mess happened when those officers get off, you know, or get fired and go home. You get upset. You start with the protest and all that. Protest turn violent because people are frustrated because we go through the same cycle of bullshit every day. And then they tell you to calm down. We went ahead and arrested those guys. Now we're charging them with second-degree murder. Calm down. Go home. We hear the same bullshit all the time. No, we ain't going home no more. People are still protesting. They've been protesting for over a week. People are tired of bullshit, man. They're tired of the cycle of bullshit, and the cycle of bullshit got to stop. But people were actually joyful and joyous because they got charged with second-degree murder. Second-degree murder ain't good enough for me. It should be first-degree murder. But they try to say on the news, oh, well, second-degree murder, you don't have to have direct intent. But if it's first-degree, you have to have intent. In other words, premeditated. That's bullshit. You don't have to have intent for premeditated. You don't have to have a premeditated murder to get charged on first-degree murder. They charge people first-degree murder all the time. But because the cops, they want to let them off a little bit easy. For what? I saw the entire video. They had that man pinned down for 8 minutes. You could have let him breathe. It's 2 other cops right beside you that had the man pinned down. Where the fuck was he going to go? He didn't even attempt to run off. And yet you made him suffer anyway. He was dead. He was already dead. I mean, he died. I mean, it's like right before your eyes, right there on the video. Biggest day he died. Because you can tell once they checked him, once they checked his pulse, they just rolled him over there like a dog. They knew he was dead. They knew he was dead. They did nothing to resuscitate him. I said, that guy's dead. You can see that. That was as obvious as all get out. He was murdered. He was murdered. I don't give a fuck what they say. He was definitely murdered. And to sit there and allow this guy to be murdered, I don't give a damn what he did. To allow this man to be murdered for, for nothing. He was detained. He didn't resist arrest. He didn't fight back, and you still killed him. That's grade A1 murder. Don't give a fuck what nobody say. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.